love a good first on this podcast, and today it is one of those days where I can say for the first time we've got an athlete from a country that we've never spoken to somebody from before, the great country of the Czech Republic, or is it Czechia? I don't know. Maybe we can finally put that to bed today of what we're meant to call the country, but I'm so excited to learn more about not only the country of Czech Republic, but the athlete we've got on the show today from the sport of bobsleigh and his journey not only from that sport, but other sports that he's competed in too. Hopefully that is going to lead him right to the Olympics next year in Italy. It is a pleasure to welcome to Off the Podium, David Bures. David, welcome to Off the Podium.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thanks, and hi to everyone.
It's exciting to have you here, mate. And let's just start it. Let's get the elephant out of the room. Czech Republic or Czechia? What are we meant to be calling the country in 2025? Because I get confused what we're meant to say.
Well, it changed last year, literally. We're still getting used to it. My favorite, or what's closer to my heart, is still Czech Republic because it sounds a little bit better. But they officially changed it to the Czechia. So on our old kit, we needed to change it to Czechia.
Right.
TVs, and yeah, it's easier to call it Czechia, I guess. But still in my heart, it's Czech Republic. Sounds better to me.
But officially, so officially it is Czechia. Because
it's Czechia.
We still have people in this country who will still call it Czechoslovakia. I mean, that's sort
exactly.
of people. Now you've got the third name right to kind of to get through that way. We had one of our commentators back during the Beijing Olympics during the opening ceremony started going on this and how great is it to see Czechoslovakia back at oh no, careful.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it's still not brand new, but 20 years, so yeah, it's still brand new for some.
Still getting there. But we'll eventually we'll be at a point, I'm sure, where we just say Czechia, and then that's all we need to say.
That's it.
That's
exactly
it. Simple, done. But I'm excited to learn about your journey, David, and everything throughout your career. Because first of all, let's start by saying that you are engaged to one of our favourite guests, Sarah Blizzard, of course. We've had on a couple of times on this show. Congratulations on the engagement, first of all.
Thank you so much.
She's talked highly of you, and we thought, well, we've got to get you on the show. We're going to learn about your story along the way. So I'm going to start off with the simple question, bobsleigh. How do you get involved in it? Because you've got a rugby background, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't seem like a transitional sport from rugby to bobsleigh.
Well, it was pretty easy. When I played rugby, I started when I was 15. I was in a national team. Then I went to play in France for 7 years. But every time I played for the national team, there were a conditioning coach who was actually doing bobsleigh in his best years, and he was 5 times on Olympics. And he was always man, when you will start thinking about the retirement from the rugby, just come give us a go. And it was straight after the last Olympics when our best pilot were looking for some new guys for his crew because all his brakemen retired. And yeah, I give it a go and kind of worked.
And here you are, basically. Here you are in that journey. Just, on the rugby side of things, how big is rugby in Czechia? Because it's sort of
small.
It's very small because it's not a country I associate with the sport that much.
Literally, it's pretty small. It's same as bobsleigh.
Wow.
We are good in hockey, ice hockey, or other sports, but rugby is same as bobsleigh. It's a really small sport.
Wow.
So that's why literally after the first year of playing rugby here, I had the chance to go to France, and that's where I stayed my whole career.
Because it's obviously quite big in France. We know sort of France do love their rugby, because I remember in another life, David, I was a journalist in New Zealand where obviously rugby is a very big deal for them. And I remember the coach of the Georgian national team and that year's World Cup was from the hometown of where I was staying. And I remember going on this fascinating journey learning about rugby in Georgia. And it's it's unique to hear these countries in Europe where from a country where we're obviously quite big on rugby, hearing about it there. So I always love hearing sort of how a sport like that is in a country like Czechia and these sort of countries in Europe where you don't associate it with.
Well, Georgia is amazing. They beat us so many times. Bunch of really hard dudes. And it was one of my worst games every single time playing against them. But for us, it's really small sport. We have in the top league, let's say 12 teams, which are half okay. But to compare it super easily, when I started playing in a France, the first team of the French club where I played like the test match against our national team, and they beat them like 50-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's like easy comparison. How is the level in Czech Republic?
Wow. So it's obviously developing, though. I can imagine. Though,
Yeah, they're doing really good work with like the young kids, because that's how you can only involve it and get some money into it and like grow the better players from like the scratch.
And I think it's one of those things too, where something like the rugby sevens format, now that obviously that's an Olympic sport, and some of these other countries that maybe aren't on board with the 15 style of rugby, we're seeing a lot more growth in sort of the shorter version, aren't we?
Yeah, like our girls actually doing pretty well. They're doing really well on like the world stage, if I can say it like that. So maybe if they will work really well and train properly, they can have a chance next time on Olympics, maybe. But for the boys, it will be hard because it's really competitive in Europe. Like you have Spain, you have Portuguese, and of course like France, England, and other countries like that who are like still way in front of us. So yeah, I don't know if the sevens are the way to go, to be fair, because like naturally the Czech people are not so fast. They are not born to be like super hyper fast, like you will get some like Jamaican team and make amazing seven teams from them.
That's the alternate cool runnings, isn't it? Not getting the sprinters into bobsleigh. We want them in rugby sevens.
Well, literally, that's the way to go,
Yeah. There's an idea.
Well, throwing the ball is not as hard, and like teach someone to play rugby is not as hard, especially in the sevens. There are not too many tackles, not too much strategy. Just literally get the ball. You can run backwards if you want to. If at the end of the day you will score the point. So, well, like the seven. Different discipline.
I was sitting in the stadium in France last year, and I watched the US beat Australia for bronze in rugby sevens. And look, coming from a proud rugby nation, we never expect to get beaten by America in rugby. So that was where all of a sudden we're going, whoa, okay, this game is maybe going a slightly different direction of what it was a few years ago when we think we're just one of the best in the world.
Well, literally, that's America. What they did, they took few sprinters. They teach them how to throw the ball, and that's how they're doing it now.
Rest is history. Yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
Did you play other sports growing up? I mean, you mentioned ice hockey, obviously huge in Czechia.
Yeah.
You ever give that were you any good on the ice at all?
Yeah, I played actually ice hockey when I was really kid. My father like a little bit pushed me to do it, and I started hating it completely because it was like practice before the school, practice after the school, like a lot of hard work, and I wasn't yet in like the mentality of like putting the work down and trying to really get better. So I quit, and then I like tried a fair few different sports. I stick with them like, let's say 3 to 4 years, but I was still like trying to something new. I played badminton.
Oh, nice. That's
the last sport literally before the rugby. But then I was like, I need something a little bit more tougher, something more like.
You're going from ice hockey to badminton, then to rugby. Yeah. That's like from one down, then up again, basically.
Exactly. So yeah, my like sports, it's like roller coaster, let's say.
And now all of a sudden we're sliding around very fast down a track. When you sort of took up, your coach and said, okay, we're going to give this go a bobsled, like, did you straight away get thrown into a sled? Like, kind of what's that first step to even getting there to go on the ice, essentially, or get in the sled?
Well, they took us to just firstly push on the ice, because it's also a slightly different feeling to just pushing the trolley on a track. So we pushed firstly on the ice. It's faster, slippery, obviously. And then we just went to the Norway, and I did my first run. Just my pilot told me to try not to spew up. I tried to not to spew up. And it happened. It was actually super fun. Because
did you spew up, or did you?
No. Not me, but other two guys did.
Oh. Where were you in the sled when this happens?
They spew up literally after that.
Okay. It's not following you down. Okay.
Yeah. Because you have so much adrenaline that I guess you can't literally spew up during the run.
Mm-hmm.
But when they got out, immediately we have amazing video guys like literally taking off the helmet and running away to spew up. That was so funny.
Wow. And these are like big, are these also rugby guys, like big guys that are in this sled basically?
Well, he was like 2-meter guy, like pretty solid. So yeah.
And straight away out come the chunks, basically. There you go. Yeah, wow. Sure. Fascinating. Fascinating. But besides the fact that you didn't spew up, so, props to you obviously, David, but like, was it all of a sudden like, yeah, this is it. This is for me. I love this. Let's keep going with it.
Yeah. Like it caught me like from the first run, literally. I wasn't scared about like anything else. I just really love it and enjoy it. And it was super fun for me because literally I had a chance to start sliding with like really good pilot. So the runs were smooth, nice. So I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't that I got down and I was beat up like a fucking boxing bag or something. It was really nice. So I was literally enjoying it and it was fun because I love the adrenaline. I love speed. So yeah, it was really good.
So was this something that like you're always first on a roller coaster if you go to a theme park, or like you're always trying to, get out there? Like you love that sense, that adrenaline rush essentially.
Yeah, literally you just make it down and I was like, well, let's go again because it was so much fun in that moment.
Fantastic. And do you have at that point, like is your coach or whoever's there, are they suggesting, right, you're the brake man, you're second middleman, third middleman, like is your position kind of set from that point, or is that a case of you fine-tune that to where you are at now?
Kind of moving still. I was like, firstly, I was sitting straight after the pilot on the second position. Then I moved to the one guy behind. But it involved in the fact like I started being a little bit faster, maybe a little bit lighter. So I moved just like strategically where I needed to be. Definitely not the last one because that's the guy who needs to be the fastest. And I'm definitely not the fastest because we had a long time. We had the guy who was holding the Czech national record for the 100-meter sprints. So I'm way far off of that. So yeah.
So is that generally how the positions work in a four-man, that it's based on speed? And so you're saying that the fastest man is always the one at the back, essentially?
Normally it should be like that. And on the sides, which are the guys in the middle, should be like a little bit more stronger and heavier. Maybe can be like that, or it works like that for us, that we have on the sides like two strong guys who are not like as super fast as the guy behind because he is obviously running the longest distance and we jumping in after the pilot. So we are not running like 50 meters. We're still running like between 35 to 45 meters.
And can you clarify for us, when you're in that, so once you've done the run, you're in the sled and your head's down, are you guys are the second and third guys doing anything, or are you just completely along for the ride?
I'm just praying to make it down.
And not vomit at the end, essentially.
Exactly. Literally for the minute you are just sitting and trying to be as much like compact, because still it's kind of short, the sled. It's a really small space to fit in. And you have there 4 guys waiting around 105 kilos and need to fit inside somehow. And it's a really small space.
Yeah.
Like not so many people can imagine how small space is it. So we are cuddling inside and just trying to make it down.
So I got two things to touch on that. One's going to be mean, one's going to be not so mean. So basically the mean part is that the second and third guys in a 4-man bobsled are the laziest Olympians. You just literally get in and you do nothing.
Yeah. 35 meters, sit in.
Done.
And that's it.
And if you win a gold, that's the easiest gold medal you're ever going to win because you just sat there for, 50 seconds and did nothing. But on the serious side of that, the jokes aside of that, without being mean, but it's obviously then strategically positioning and making sure that little things that you two I can sure do in that sled can find the 10th of a second that you guys need that can, be the difference between first and last, essentially.
Can be like that because also we need to play with like aerodynamics. So you want to put the tallest guy in the front, so you don't want to have like the bumps because of the airflow. And you try to have like the weight well seated in a sled because that also affects how fast you can make it down. And the results are normally the difference in microseconds. So you're trying to make it everything absolutely right.
Can you tell, like, can you sort of feel if it's a good or a bad run, if that makes sense?
Normally, like, it's really bad to say, but like I'm telling that every single time to the pilot, but not always. The bad run in my head is actually sometimes faster than the nice run. Sometimes you need to go for the head to be faster. Sometimes it works. Like not always the nice run is the fast run.
Interesting. It's always because like, I mean, going back to the talk about throwing up, I mean, in all seriousness, I can imagine that if you're not looking and you're just that level of motion, right, and you're not obviously sticking your head out, you're not the pilot, so you can't see. So I guess for people who suffer from motion sickness, it's not the best sport because you're going that fast and you're not seeing anything at all.
No. Like when I started, when I was sliding on the second position in a 4-man, it was like I sometimes, when I was curious, I just like looked a little bit over the shoulder of the pilot, but then I immediately went back because it was so fast. I don't know how the pilots are doing it. Yeah. Like that's incredible. But now when I'm on the first position, I can't see shit. I'm just literally looking into the back of the guy who's sitting in front of me. So that's all what I can see.
Getting very close to him, no doubt, and having a bit of a cuddle.
Lying on him and like cuddling him. That's
no secrets going on there. Is that? I mean, then when you are in the 2-man, how do you find that sort of level going to that? Because obviously, it's, I mean, maybe a bit more space. Obviously, the sled's a little bit smaller, but I mean, do you kind of almost miss having your cuddle buddy there in front of you and behind you?
Definitely. It's not as comfortable for me because your position of the body is completely different. It's not more sitting. It's like when you're trying to stretch and trying to pull your back to your feet, if that makes sense. And it's not as much comfortable for me. And also you need to brake, so you need to kind of know the track and where to brake. So it's a little bit more responsibility.
Like being that lazy in the middle, doing nothing for 50 odd seconds, right? Easy.
Have no stress about it. Just push as hard as you can, get in, and that's all. That's where the job is done.
I love it. Yeah. How do you then look at Sarah when she's doing like the monobob? Like, because I mean, that's everything, right? You got to be looking, you got to be braking, you got to do fucking everything there.
Yeah, and especially they pushing like really heavy sled. For us, we are pushing almost the same weight, but in a 4 guys, she's pushing almost the same weight, but single woman. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's something.
It's just an incredible sort of way to look at that, because there is male monobob, isn't there? But obviously it's not an Olympic discipline. So is it not as prominent as the women's monobob?
That's where the young one starts, right? I would say, in the monobob. Yeah.
Because I always wondered, I think we talked about this with Sarah, it's sort of like, well, if we're going to be completely equal, let's bring in the men's monobob and let's bring in the women's 4-woman, the 4-man, whatever you want to call it. Like, let's have them all together, right? Why not?
Well, I don't know if you will find as many girls for the 4-woman. You know, like it's still a really small sport. It's not like athletics, not any like team sport. It's really hard to find that many people. But yeah, it would be cool. We're finally getting the doubles luge for women in Milan. So I mean, gradually we might get there when it comes to that. Did you find much of the rugby training transitioned into bobsleigh? I mean, I'm thinking big legs in rugby. Obviously, the power that comes from that side of things would help. But was there anything else from rugby that helped in bobsleigh? Maybe actually from the badminton, because you needed to be like quick on your toes, and that's something what like struggle with, because all the other guys are coming from like athletics and they have really strong calves and they are dynamic on their toes. That's also important, which I was a little bit lacking of. So maybe that was a good thing. And also the durability, because still you are like minus degrees, you're getting beaten up and you still need to sit in the sled. Sometimes you have concussion from the run, you still need to sit in the sled and go again. So yeah, that's a little bit like a rugby, because you like trying to pretend that you are okay, so you can still keep playing.
Did think about that, actually. That's a good point, sort of getting, banged around a little bit. You're getting that done a lot in rugby, so it's sort of,
Yeah.
the head, right, it's getting strong.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about that. Is there other sports that would, like, obviously you mentioned athletics. I mean, that's the cool running's right thing, right? Like, let's just get the fastest sprinters and that. But are there other sports that a lot of bobsledders get poached from that maybe a lot of people don't realize that are good to transition into bobsleigh?
Literally, there are a fair few rugby players.
Wow.
There are a fair few rugby players from GB and other countries. So rugby is kind of okay because you're still sprinting in your training, you're still lifting the weights, and the bobsleigh trainings are just about running fast and lifting a lot of weights. That's all what you need. There are no cardio, no anything like that. So yeah, we had few also American footballers, but that's pretty similar training as a rugby. Some weightlifters try that, but then it's really hard for them to learn how to run properly because you're running downhill and overspeeding. So some of them are actually like slowing down the sled, not accelerating them, because then they don't have like the top speed which they need to. But yeah, I can't think about any other sport, to be fair, which can be okay for the bobsleigh. Literally everyone can try it, definitely.
You might be the only person from a badminton background though that has come for it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Maybe I can ask someone in China because they play badminton a lot.
Yeah. Bring him over. Absolutely. That's why not? Like, you never, like, this is the thing though. Like, there could be a sport out there that no one's thought of that could be the most perfect transition into bobsleigh.
Actually.
And you'd be tapping into it, right?
Like that.
Yeah. What's the I've gone blank on the name of the movie, but there was that movie where John Hamm was in it and he went to India to get cricket players to transform them into baseball players because he kind of, the similarities and everything along those lines. I mean, obviously cricket and baseball are a lot similar, more similar than table tennis and bobsleigh, but you never know, right?
You never know. Literally, you can find someone completely different sport, but he can be absolute machine. You never know.
You never know. $1 Million Arm. I think that's what the name of that movie was off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Blank on that one there. Just in terms of sort of where you're at now, though, with everything and kind of the transitioning and everything along those lines. I mean, looking at your last season that you've had finished, obviously, a couple of months ago, but of the 7 events that you were in the Europe Cup, only one of them you did not finish in the top 10. And then also in the Junior World Championships, fifth in the World Championships, third in the European Championship. So pretty decent season going along those lines. So how are you feeling right now in terms of just your form? And obviously we're a couple of months out from the next season, which obviously then leads into the Olympics.
To be fair, I'm not super happy about my last season because I got injured before the final test when they were deciding who will be sliding with who, because we had a fair few big changes in our federation and in our teams. So yeah, I didn't make the cut for the first team for the first time. So I was sliding in I don't like it to specify between first and second team, but basically with the other team. So we haven't been on a World Cup. We were just on a EC. We did some okay results. And yeah, the juniors, world champs and European champs, it was pretty good. That was the 2 best races we did in the season and maybe the best results we did in the season. So yeah. I'm not super happy about it because I wasn't in my 100% because of the injury. So yeah.
What was the injury first of all?
I tore my hamstring.
And how is that looking right now? Is it improved? Is sort of still being worked on? I
injured myself again.
Wow. Oh no.
Right now. No, right now it's 3 weeks ago, but the other leg actually.
Wow. So not even the same injury. This is on the other leg. Damn.
Yeah. I'm struggling with the hamstrings. I don't know why. If there is someone who can help me with the hamstring, that would be nice.
Please, anyone listening or watching right now who knows something about hamstrings, perhaps we need to. So is that right now? I mean, there's never a good time for an injury, of course, David, but would you rather it happen in this off-season period than if obviously this is January next year, of course?
Yeah, literally now it's a little bit better than last year because last year it happened like a month and a half later, which was closer to like the final testings when everything was like really important. So now I still have a time, but yeah, it's like would be better without any injury, you know?
In terms of coming back from that disappointment, obviously you're talking about with the season that you've just had. I mean, sometimes with moments like that, though, it pushes you a little bit further. It makes you hungrier to kind of get back onto that first team and
definitely like that
and improve that. So you're finding that that's obviously building that extra hunger now the closer and closer we get to Milan.
Yeah, definitely. Like, really like it's not about motivation. It's more for me. It's discipline, but now the extra motivation is exactly this. That like I'm putting the extra work in it because I a little bit missed out last season. I didn't enjoy it as much as I could. So yeah, I want to enjoy it and do my absolute best for this season.
In terms of that form though, was it you feel just the injury that set you back? Like, I mean, do you feel that you are deserving of being in that first team if you are at 100% fitness?
Yeah, definitely.
And that is obviously the goal to get back there. I mean, just in terms of the Czech team and the Czech sort of the nature of the athletes that you've got, I mean, how stacked are we looking at? Like, how difficult, let's rephrase that, is it to make that four-man squad for the Olympics next year?
Well, it's a little bit harder than it was like, let's say 2 years ago because we had more pilots. Now we had 4 pilots. So that's mean like way more space or way more places to go into the teams. But now we have only 2 pilots and still a lot of brakemen. So there will be someone who won't get selected, you know? So it's way harder, definitely, to get in the team and even harder to get into the first team, definitely.
But does that make it, given that you're not a pilot or a brakeman, that you're okay? That you're number 2 or number 3? So you're just the lazy guy in the middle, so you should be fine?
Yeah, but you still need to make the top 3, you know?
Mm-hmm. So it's important to do that. Because I'm looking at past results, because every time we get somebody from a country we've never had on, David, I like to research and be that person who tries to find out all the facts for our listeners and everything along the line. So I saw in Beijing in the 4-man that Czechia were 21st overall and then in the 2-man 15th. And the best finish, and this is including back in the Czechoslovakia days, the best finish ever for a 4-man team by a Czech sled was back in 1994, 10th. Is that best finish there as well? So is this a case of it's sort of gone up and down over the years in terms of just the nature of the success for Czechia, or sort of like how has that always been seen in the country?
I think that just like the main events are not as great. Like my ex-pilot, if I can say it like that, he was really pretty successful in my eyes. And he had fair few really nice successes, but in like, let's say, World Cup or European champs. But the top events didn't exactly like clicked, maybe. Every single time something happened, something would like made the little bit worse. I can't tell. I wasn't part of the team yet, so I can't talk about it much. But they had fair few really nice like results, but still we are not Germans, so yeah, we can't compare with the big guys.
We recently did one of our news episodes and we previewed luge, and we had a German on the show, and we were trying to get to the bottom of why the bloody hell they're so good at these sliding sports, because I think they won every gold medal in Beijing with the exception of the monobob, so it's like ridiculous. And it baffles me how a country like that can just be so damn good at something like that, and then just share the love around Germany. Come on, there are other countries that want to win medals too in these sports.
Well, exactly.
Come on.
Give us a little bit.
Give us a little bit out there. The one
it's literally about the money. They are like putting way more money into it, and like still we are like 10 times smaller country than them. And it's even smaller sport in Czech Republic. Like not too many people knows about it.
Where is the nearest track to Czech?
In Germany.
It is in Germany. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the borders with the Czech Republic. in Germany. So let's say from Prague, like 1.5 hours.
Not too bad.
Which is pretty close. Yeah, that's not so bad.
Very, very
but
close.
It's pretty rough track still, so you don't always like looking forward to go there.
Do you have a favorite track? Like, what's your favorite track in the world that you get to go to?
Maybe San Moritz. San Moritz is always a nice track, even though I have the most crushes there. I think San Moritz is in Switzerland is like the absolute beauty.
And in terms of the track in Milano Cortina, of course, it's obviously, I think they've like at least finished it, haven't they? I don't know if there's any running down it just yet, but I mean, have you had sort of a chance to see what they've done there and any initial thoughts of what you've seen of it so far?
Well, from what I heard, it should be kind of cool track. Shouldn't be like super hard, like super like dangerous that everyone would be crushing there, which is nice to be fair. But yeah, I didn't see much. Sarah definitely had more gossips about it. Our coaches have been there for some like training week to look on the few athletes who were sliding there to get some like first thoughts and first notes about it. And we will see it literally in like 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, for the first time, how it looks.
Is it exciting as an athlete in a sport where obviously there's less than 20 in the entire world track? So whenever there's a new one, this is obviously very unique and new. So is that always that exciting to get a new one?
Yeah, definitely. It's really nice. It's really nice because it's every time something different, you know? So there's like a little bit of expectation, maybe a little bit of like worried, nervous, how it's going to be like, because like you will never get used to the pressure which you're getting in the sled. So it will be like, will there be like really high pressures corners or not? Or will be just like, they will throw you in a wash machine and it will be like mixer, it will throw you around, or how it's going to be like. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to see and feel how it's going to look like.
You might not know the answer to this question, but like I can imagine that the Italians are obviously going to be making this to benefit them as best as they can, right? So like, is there an Italian style that you can adapt to, if that makes sense? Like what do you think the Italians would be wanting to put into their sled to make sure that they do the best at their home Olympics?
To be fair, I have no idea, because their pilot, he is a really good pilot. Like they are not as amazing push athletes as like Germans, Brits or whatever. But their pilot, he's like one of the best. So literally you can put him everywhere, and with a great team, he would be in the top 5 every time.
Good to know. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, we're going to be, keeping an eye on many people. But I always find it very interesting that like you can obviously have such an input as a home nation to try and do that, because obviously every home Olympics, a host nation wants to do the best. They're going to try and get an advantage wherever they can. But I can't think of many sports where it is so technical of like a track that you get in sliding sports that you can probably really give yourself a hometown advantage in.
Literally, that's like the biggest advantages you can get, because as much experience they will get there in a time we won't be there. Yeah. Because we will slide there for the 2 weeks before the Olympics maximum, or maybe some training camp before. But in a day, you can do like around 3 rounds per day. And sliding is not every day. And imagine they have been sliding there after the season for the month. They will be sliding there literally from next month, maybe, if the conditions will be okay. So the amount of runs he will have in his pocket, it will be something like really crazy compared, for example, our pilots.
Yeah. It's not like the 100 meters, right? Anyone can just, 100 meter track, fine, whatever's done. It's like, this is so different to that. So,
and they can also like somehow change a little bit their sleds. They are runners. They can prepare well for that. They can find out what works there, which we actually can't, because we won't have as much time to figure out, So yeah, that's a pretty big advantage. But I'm happy to see that, because maybe it will be someone different to the Germans.
I was going to say that, right? As long as it's not the Germans.
I'm always happy. Nothing against Germany. They are lovely guys, but like nice to see someone else, you know.
Well, on that, it's funny you bring that up because I always like to find out who our guests from countries that we're not that familiar with, who your big rivals are. Like in Australia, it's New Zealand, right? Like it's England. We always want to beat. We always get a bit more, bit of a thrill if we beat a Kiwi or a Brit. Who is it for the Czechs? Is it the Germans? Is it Slovakia? Like who is it?
Well, in a bobsleigh, or you mean globally?
Let's go with bobsleigh one, and then just like any other sport. Like who is the traditional rival of the Czech Republic in any sport?
Well, I guess in a bobsleigh, Slovakia, they don't have the men's bobsleigh team, so maybe for the girls, there is some like sort of rivalry between them because they have the girls team and also we do. But in other sports, it's really hard because in every sport is different. It's completely different because you have like the ice hockey where no one around us is good in it. So we are competing with America. And then you have like the other sports like football when we are like half okay, I would say. Like sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. And then it's completely different story. So you don't actually have it like the close comparison to like, as you said, Australia, New Zealand.
Not one of those ones. Which, I mean, I think that's a bit more interesting though, David, because like it does give you like it's a similar thing, right? Like we're going to be big rivals with New Zealand in, cricket, rugby, these sort of sports. But let's be honest, for the rest of them, we kick their ass in everything. They're not good enough to beat us with shit. Whereas like, we might then get a sense of pride, America, where they're going to beat us all the time. But in the swimming pool, look out, we might actually beat them. So it is, I think, kind of when you've got that diversity of like, there's not just one that you're always focused on. So I like that.
Maybe like if I think about like through the other sports, can be Poland a little bit because they are pretty big. Like in athletics and in other sports, it can be Poland, I guess.
All right. I like to keep an eye on these things, sort of, when I'll be there in Italy. So if I bump into some Czech people, I'm just going to be looking out, okay, there's some Polish, I'll keep you guys apart and just, make sure that's going that way. Yeah. Between now and February Day, we're obviously recording this on the back end of July and you've touched on the injury and everything, but sort of what will the process be? Once you back up to fitness, you're pushing for selection back into the first squad. Is it a simple case of just getting in there, getting the points, getting the quota, and then hoping that you get selected for Milan Cortina?
Literally, that's how I said it. It's literally like that. For me, the journey will be now get fast again, get back into it, then focus on the testing, make the team, and then with the team have the best results as we can to get qualified. Because we are one of the few sports which are literally just waiting for the qualification,
It's crazy.
Until the last end.
It's so crazy. I get nervous for any athlete from your sport and other sports that have that so close to it because I'm a planner. I like to structure my life and I could not imagine being in your position where you're kind of keeping 2 weeks free in February next year and you don't even know if you're going to be there probably until like 2 weeks before those 2 weeks.
Exactly. And it's pretty good that it's close, it's not in America. So we don't need to book any flights, anything like that. We can literally drive there. So it's fine. But for the other people who are like around the world and need to travel long distance to the Italy, it's pretty annoying to be fair.
And accommodation there's a bitch, isn't it? Right? Like try getting play. It's terrible to try and work that out. What would it mean though to you, David, to get that email, that phone call, that official confirmation that you are going to the Olympics, that you are an Olympian?
Yeah, definitely. That's like, if you start with some of the sport, which like the top event is Olympics, definitely it's one of your dreams always. If not, you are lying to yourself. Definitely is every single time. But in other hand, I still have my normal life behind it, so I would not like break down and my life is done. Definitely not, but I will do my absolute best to get that email, to get that phone call. So yeah, definitely.
What's it like having to share a house with somebody else in your position who is also trying so hard to get to the Olympics? I can imagine that there's a level of competitiveness, stress, everything else? Like, I mean, or is it just a case of that's just your normal life? So that's just what you guys are used to as two high professional athletes and striving towards the same goal, essentially?
Well, it's really nice for me, to be fair, because the other person understands what I'm going through, you know? Like, it's really hard to explain it to someone who hasn't any ambition in a sport or any high ambition as that. It's really hard to explain it, for example, my friends who never did any sport or any sport on that level, you know? So it's really nice because you have the support there, and the thing that the other person understands how you're feeling, that after the training you are just tired and you want to do nothing for the rest of the day, or you are stressed about the testing and all the things around. It's really nice because it's really important for me. Definitely there is like some stressing around it, but I'm pretty sure that we are doing like really, really good job. And yeah, it works for us really well.
And I can imagine there are days where you just don't want to talk about bobsleigh. You probably just want to get in the couch, take the shoes off and watch Netflix all night and just shut up, don't talk about work.
That's what we did yesterday night. It was like really hard day, but then we just like, fuck everything. We are going to watch the Happy Gilmore. That's what we did for the rest of the day.
Can we get that on a t-shirt? Fuck everything, let's watch Happy Gilmore. Why not?
That would be hilarious. I want
that. That's the quote of the episode. What did you think of it? What did you think of the new Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I liked it.
Yeah,
like the fact that there are so many the actual athletes and so many like famous people in the movie. I love it. Like I'm really into the golf. I'm really bad in it, but I really like it. So yeah, it was fun movie. Just like something super easy to watch at the end of the day, you know.
Switch the mind up. I'm actually, with all these legacy sequels that we get, you know, the 90s nostalgia, where is the Cool Runnings legacy sequel? Like, I mean, I understand, you know, rest in peace, John Candy. He's no longer with us. But I mean, the four guys are still there. They got, there was, I think, a year or two ago, the actors all got together for a catch up. Like, I'm waiting for the Netflix Cool Runnings too. Where is it?
Exactly. Well, maybe we can make a little hype around it and let's give it a go.
Yeah. Get all the athletes in, just like a Happy Gilmore. Get all the cameos from all the bobsledders. Exactly. You know, like, come on.
Now even Formula One has a movie, even though Formula One is way bigger, but we want our movie.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought up F1 because Sarah obviously talked a little bit about, you know, you guys are into Drive to Survive, into a bit of, you know, the F1 fandom. And I brought that up to her. I said, well, you asked David, is he aware that the Czech Republic has had one Formula One driver in the history of the sport? And I'm wondering if you know who that is. Is he somebody that you know who that is in the Czech Republic, or is that just an obscure guy that no one talks about in your home country?
No, I know the guy who's now driving in Formula 2, in Moto Formula 2. That's a young guy who's actually did pretty well last week. But no.
So I'll tell you, 2001, his name was Thomas Enge. He raced in 3 races for Prost Grand Prix, which obviously no longer exists. But it was at the time that was all like, oh, the first ever Czech Formula One driver. I mean, admittedly, he sort of was a reserve driver. He didn't really do anything. But I love that fact because that is just a unique aspect. That guy, Thomas is walking out there in the world knowing I am the only Formula One driver in the history of the Czech Republic. That's it. He is the one. It. So there you go. Which, as an F1 nut, that's a geeky thing that I seemingly know. But I'm glad that Drive to Survive is still finding these fans and enjoying it. Who's your driver? Who do you support now in Formula
One? That's kind of hard. That's like, I don't have like one favorite because my favorite is retired.
Who is that?
Well, Ricardo, obviously.
Yeah, poor Dan. Yeah.
I know.
We miss him.
I love Nico Hülkenberg.
Gotta say his name. Nico Hülkenberg.
Yeah. I don't like when the guys in the fast cars, like I don't like it so much because definitely they are great drivers, but they have a fast car. You know, it's like it's like Formula One is not as similar as bobsleigh, but there are some things. Because if you have money, you can have better equipment, you can be faster. and maybe there is someone better as an athlete, as a pilot, but you will never know because they don't have as great equipment, So that's the similarity about it. I like it.
Have you been to a race? Have you been to any races at all?
Yeah, fair few, but also I was watching more before the bikes, the MotoGP.
Yep.
Yeah, because
that's big in the Czech Republic, isn't it? There's a Czech MotoGP race, isn't there?
Yeah, because it's actually in my city. Right. It was the race here after 5 years. It wasn't here, and now it was the first race again.
Right.
Weeks ago. So yeah, it was like my small city was completely crowded.
Wow.
Police everywhere. And yeah, it was fun, but I wasn't on that race actually. But next year I will go again.
Fantastic. Yeah. Have you been to the Australian Grand Prix at all? When you've sort of been down here with Sarah at all?
No. But when I was, that's like the to-do list.
It's I mean, look, I'm biased being Australian, but the only Grand Prix I'll say that I've been to that I honestly think is better than the Australian Grand Prix is the Canadian Grand Prix. That is if you ever get to go to Montreal, that is an amazing race to go to. So that is top of my list. Just above Albert Park. But again, I'm probably a little bit biased being from here, of course, on that level. We're going to get to some fun, get to know you, random questions in just a moment when it comes to that. But one I've got to ask, the burning question, you're both obviously really trying hard to get to a little thing called the Olympics next year. But as I said, you're engaged. So wedding, when's that happening? Does it have to wait till after Italy next year, or can we have an Italy wedding? Like, does that happen with gold medals around your neck essentially after the closing ceremony?
That would be sick. Happen, I guess. to be fair, but no, like the first plan is after the year after the Olympics, or like after the Olympics, because it's really hard to get like the two parts of our family on one place. It's completely opposite side of the world. And that will require a lot of logistics. So now our main focus is still the Olympics, and then we can start planning something about the wedding. But we are looking, to be fair. The first idea, or like the actual idea, is about the Greece, because it's
destination wedding. Nice.
Yeah, Sarah told me this is like kind of like something cool for the Australians. Maybe it's not as cool for us. It's a little bit overrated, because we can actually drive there.
Yeah,
it's like going to Bali. For us, it's something super cool because it's so far away, and you always see some cool videos on Instagram. But for you, it's like, Bali is next door.
Yeah. Which is the thing. I don't know if like you get this vibe from Sarah, but I know that whenever I'm in a place where there's even something remotely resembling a border, I get very excited. I'm from an island state in an island country, so I can't even drive to another state, let alone another country. When I was living in Canada, I was near the border of the US. So you would drive up the street and you'd look over the hill. I'm like, that's another country right over that body of water right there. You just blow your mind. So I don't know does Sarah get like weirdly excited when you cross a border into like another European country or something like that?
Well, maybe she's used to it now because she's doing the bobsleigh for like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And during the season, you are traveling around the whole Europe. So maybe not now, but definitely she was. And she started, we spoke about it a few times because I was like, how it feels like, like me, when I flew to Australia, it was like something crazy.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been in the plane for that long in my life.
That's just a Saturday for us. If we want to go anywhere, you got to be in a plane for like 3 weeks.
Exactly. So I was like, if I want to cross the whole Europe, I can drive it within 1 day almost,
Yeah. Like if you say like, I could be in Germany in an hour and a half, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even leave this state in an hour and a half. That's crazy. What's your favorite place in Australia whenever you've been here? Have you got a favorite place that you like coming to?
Gold Coast was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a really nice place to be, but we were mostly in Brisbane, and it's really nice. I really love like the nature, going for the walks around there. I'm not really like the city guy. I'm more like to like take a dog and go for some walk. And then when we visit her parents around like the Port Ferry, that's really nice nature down there. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I love it. I definitely love it.
Beautiful part. Love Brisbane. And obviously if we can, I mean, the Brisbane Olympics are technically in our winter. So I keep trying to push for winter sports to be added to our Summer Olympics. So maybe we can build a bobsled track in Brisbane for the Olympics.
That would help the girls a lot.
Yeah, I think just a bit, right? they don't have to travel as far, essentially, if it's in their own their own backyard. Exactly. The other question, I have to ask this question. I know that she's not in your sport. I get it. But having someone from the Czech Republic on this podcast in the winter discipline, can I just ask you about Esther Ledecker? She's a queen on this show. We're obsessed with her on this podcast. Is she just like the queen of your country? I mean, she is an icon.
She is. Like, no one ever did in history what she did. That's something amazing. Like 2 medals from 2 different disciplines on one main event. That's crazy.
It is
and
absolutely
she's
insane.
Still getting it.
Yeah. Because she's still going, isn't she? And she's also like, the thing I loved about Beijing is that not only did she just go like, oh yeah, Super G and parallel slalom and the snowboard, let's add the downhill, let's add the slalom, let's do it all right. Fuck it, I can do this. And she's still making the top 10 in these events even if she's not medaling. Exactly. It's crazy.
Exactly. Like, I'm really looking forward to how she will go.
Is she like, if you were to rank the biggest athletes in your country, is she up there? Is she like one of the most famous athletes?
She would be top 5, let's say.
Wow. There you go. Who is the number one? Who is the most famous Czech athlete who you could not walk down Prague without them being absolutely hounded by every single Czech person?
I guess he's now quite a lot. Like, he's not doing the sport anymore. But Jaromír Jágr, he was the best hockey player.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Now we have another hockey player who's doing like really good, Pastrňák, who played for Boston, or he plays still, and MMA fighter who won the belt in UFC for the light heavyweight champion.
Okay.
Jiří Procházka, which he's now like also a pretty big name. And then we have a lot of really good tennis players.
I was going to say, I'm thinking of a lot of tennis players in history. That's another sport I associate.
Czech Republic is quite okay, like pretty good in a tennis, in a women's. So yeah, tennis players definitely. And yeah, we have a few like good athletes, to be fair, but like still we are a small country, so it's not like hundreds, but it's in the tens.
But I like it when these small countries punch above their weight, right? And I know that Czech Republic is a small country, but I still always associate you as a bit of a powerhouse in sport, because every time I'm watching an Olympics or something like that, always look out for the Czech athletes. They're always doing pretty well. And
yes. Yeah. Still there would be someone, Yeah. Even though it's only one, there still will be someone. And
I always remember 98 Nagano, the men's team winning that gold medal, and that great documentary that the Olympic Channel released on it too. Like, that was obviously the first year that NHL players are allowed, and who wins? The Czech Republic. Wasn't even Canada or America. So, that
was like the golden year.
Do you have an NHL team? Do you follow an NHL team at all?
Nah, like, to be fair, like, it's kind of weird, but I'm not super like sport fan. I'm not watching a sport as much. I'm way more enjoying doing the sport than actually watching. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my friends are calling me crazy because like my like teammates, one of them are like really into it. He knows about every single time, everything, like different leagues here and there.
Wow.
If you will ask him how the netball was in a 4th league last weekend, he would tell you the score, Wow. He's like absolutely free, but like I'm not into it as much. Like, I like to watch it if it's on TV, but it's not that I would like impatiently waiting for it. It's like I'm a little bit weird in it, maybe.
You're not getting up at 3 a.m. to watch like an NHL game, essentially.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I'm not as like that. I would have like some favorite team, basketball or baseball or NHL or something.
Bring back Daniel Ricciardo, then you got your favorite driver, right? That's
literally that would be. I would start watching it every single week again.
when we've had Ash on the show, Ash Werner, of course, we talked a lot about her personality. I really see connected with Daniel Ricciardo, and she's a big Danny Rick fan. And we tried to, I think, see if we could get some like connection where we get him in a bobsled and we can get her in a Formula One car. Never sadly happened, but we never say never, So.
Well, maybe he will be in a Milano. That would be pretty nice because he's really big fan of the dude who's doing the snowboard.
Yeah, Scotty James. Yeah, good friends with him. Yep. So,
yeah, and he was in Switzerland last winter.
Yep.
To support him. in the Moretz. So maybe he will be there. So
yeah. Well, I mean, he's got nothing else to do, really, does he? So,
Yeah, literally.
sell his clothes, sell his wine, bring it to the Olympics. Why not? There we go. Bump into him. David, we always wrap up with our 10 get to know you style questions. I'm excited to hear your answers for these ones. I'm going to start with, what is the one thing that you never leave home without when traveling to a competition?
It would be my little, how you call it, like little koala bear, which Sarah gave me, always wearing in my sliding bag. That's like.
I'm going to pull you up on one thing, not a bear. Don't offend Australia. But I like to see that you have a piece of Australia coming with you at least. So that's something.
Yeah, literally.
Good to know. Does it have a name, or is it just little koala?
It's just deadly bear.
Okay. Okay. There you go. We'll let you get away with that one. Don't worry. What's a tradition or a superstition that you follow before every big competition?
None. I'm really trying to get rid of that, because when I was younger, I had a few like putting like left shoe before the right one. But if you will fuck it up once, it will get into your head. So I'm really trying to not get anything. Like, I'm listening still same music, my one playlist, but that's all. That's all what I'm doing.
Well, you preempted my next question, David. What is a song that is on every single one of your pre-competition playlists?
Well, anything from Eminem. One of the hard musics.
Pumps it up.
Yeah.
Good.
Eminem is there like 3 or 4 times definitely in the mix.
And now that he's in Happy Gilmore too, right? Like, are you just going to have like, does he need to do something to do with like Jackass, you jackass? Like, does he need to like have a new song doing that essentially?
I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't know about it, and I didn't expect it. I was like, is it?
I was going to say, it takes you a bit, doesn't it? You sort of double take, like, is that Eminem? You're like, that's Eminem. It was quite funny. It was quite clever the way they do that. What is the most unexpected or funny direct message that you have ever received?
I don't know, unexpected or funny message. I would really need to dig in my mind. I can't tell you.
Don't get anybody like, what are some weird ones we've had? Sugar mummies, sugar daddies, people wanting feet pictures, somebody wanted shoes.
We spoke about it with the guys, but obviously no one wants my smelly socks yet. Maybe after this podcast they will.
Maybe, or after the Olympics,
If you want to, just waiting in my bathroom right now.
There you go. Send him a message. He'll tag his Instagram at the end of this. You can get his smelly feet. There you go. That's how it works. The weirdest thing that you've ever eaten at an international competition, and did you like it?
Frogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they good?
Like, there's not too much meat on it, but it kind of tastes like a chicken.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like, snails are kind of normal in a France, but like the frogs, it was like, because after every rugby game there's like big old reception where both teams are getting a food together. And yeah, there were frogs, so I was like, oh well, let's try it. And it wasn't bad. I didn't expect it.
Okay. What is if I'm going to Prague, if I'm going to anywhere in Czechia, what is like the food? What do I eat? What do Czech people eat?
Well, our food is pretty much like heavy sauces, like dumplings with heavy sauces, but not the dumplings as you would order in like some Chinese food, but like the bread dumplings with heavy sauce. We call it svíčková, or some like, that would be it. If you would go for some like typical Czech food, that would be something like, it's not amazing for your diet because it's really heavy, it's full of fat, but it's really yummy.
You're allowed to have an off day every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then when in Prague, you've got to eat like the locals, right? Like,
exactly.
if they come to Australia, you eat a meat pie. Like, you don't eat a meat pie every bloody day, but like, you still got to try the damn thing.
Exactly. And with that, you need to get the Czech beer, because that's one and only Czech beer.
Because you guys, aren't you guys like up there with us as like one of the biggest drinking nations per capita or something in the world?
We are definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
It's a lot of liter per person per year.
The beauty of a small country, right? Like, you could just like go up in there. I think Ireland are up there, aren't they, as well? Like, you think of these countries, the drinking cultures, Yeah. We think we're good in Australia. We're not as good as some of you guys in Europe. Do you get competitive when you come to Australia? You're like, Australians, you don't know how to drink. Look how the Czechs do it.
Jesus Christ, you don't know how much. Like, if someone will talk shit about our beer, we can get straight into the fight.
Well, we produce Fosters, right? So we can't talk about
Yeah.
producing beer. That beer's shit. So, you guys have us beat on that one, I think. Speaking of food, what is your ultimate guilty pleasure meal that you always go to after a big competition?
Quattro formaggi pizza.
Oh, okay. Didn't even
I'm
hesitate.
like big lover of the cheeses.
Yep.
And that's like that. Yeah. If I can get there, I would definitely get there. If like I can get out of my like diet or.
I always love it when we have somebody who just doesn't even think when I ask a question. Oh yeah, this one straight away. Like you know where you're going to eat.
Yeah. If like you would pick hamburger or any like fast food and quattro formaggi pizza, that's like I'm jumping into it.
Beautiful. I like that. I'm very intrigued to see what the pizza is going to be like in Milano Cortina, because when you think pizza, you think Italy, right? So
that's a great question.
Yeah.
And can't wait to find out.
Yeah.
Hopefully I will.
Yeah, you'll find it, Dave. Don't worry. You'll be there. Now, this one is the one where we... actually, no, I'm skipping ahead a question, man. We'll get to question 8 in a minute. Question 7. If you could swap sports for a day with another Olympian, what event would you choose and how do you think you would fare?
In let's talk about the winter one, Winter Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah, I would do some skiing, some like GP skiing, like the fast downhill ones.
Like downhill?
Because they be kind of heavy.
Yep.
To fly down as fast. I'm a good skier. Definitely, I will eat shit. That's for sure. It's really steep, but I would love to try it.
You could be like Esther. Yeah. You could win a gold in bobsleigh and then win a gold in skiing. Like, I mean, you'd one up Esther. That's completely different to snowboarding and skiing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's something I would love to try it on like their slopes because we'll never experience that.
Would there be a summer if you had to choose a summer sport? What would the summer sport be?
Summer sport. That's a great question. I would like to be on an athletic track.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any like that amazing athlete in athletics.
You can be
like, on a full crowd, cheering on you, just waiting for the 100-meter run.
Oh,
that would be sick.
Pin drop before that gun goes off, and then just 10 seconds later, your life changes. Right? Wow. Yeah. Exactly. That would be. I got to say, like of all the sports out there, if you can run 100 meters in like 9.8 seconds, I mean, you're going to feel pretty good, right? Like Noah Lyles, there's a reason why he's that energetic and cocky. I mean, you're going to feel pretty good being able to do that.
Definitely. Like it needs to feel amazing. You need to feel like superhero, at the moment.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Definitely. I skipped ahead. I got excited for this one. This is one we get a little bit of help from ChatGPT, and I've even got an image here for this one as well to share. But if you had a movie made after you, David, if your Olympic journey was a movie, what would the title be, and who do you think would play you?
Ooh. That would be like some like crazy roller coaster, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like something doing with the roller coaster, definitely. And I was actually thinking about it when I was listening one of your podcasts. Who would play that? And I don't know his name, but you would definitely know who I'm talking about. The guy who played the werewolf in the Twilight Saga.
Oh, yep.
I don't remember his name, but that was like when I was young.
I need to Google it now because it's in my head, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
What
Taylor Lautner. Taylor Lautner. Yeah.
That I'm look like.
I see it actually. Now that you say it, yeah, I can see it.
But I had a little bit longer hair, definitely. Like now I have almost no hair and some facial hair, but without facial hair and longer hair, I look like that kind of.
Okay. No. Now that you say that, like it's one of those sort of ones you see, like, yep, I see it. Because I mean, ChatGPT here, they've literally said to you like Henry Cavill, Liam Hemsworth, Glenn Powell, like these guys out there. That's what they're saying there. Some of the movie ideas that they've given here, they've said Ice Tracks, Steel and Snow, The Czech Bullet. Now, the one I've gone, though, we like to try and get a ChatGPT to do a poster to see what it will look like. Right. So one of the ones here that I chose, I thought was the best sounding of the ones they gave. They've one here simply called Push Start. I mean, it's bobsleigh related. Why not?
Yeah.
And now for our audio listeners, check out our video version. You'll see this one. I'm going to hold this one up now. This is what they've got here for you. Push start. There you are with a little helmet in your hand and the Czech flag on the bobsled and the inspiring true story of Czech bobsleigh athlete David Bures. There it is. Look at you.
Well, that's pretty cool.
It's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it did pretty good work, to be fair.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, they've actually not gone too bad there. So, hey, that's a start. That's Cool Runnings too, what we're talking about with all the cameos. It's getting ready to go. So, but I like what you're talking about, the roller coasters. I think that one works out pretty well. 2 more to go. What is one question that you are tired of being asked, David? And what's the one question you wish people would ask you instead?
If I'm kissing the egg before I go.
Well, there goes my next question. I'll cross that one off.
Yeah, definitely. Because to be fair, I need to say that I never saw the whole movie of Cool Runnings.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wow, there's your tomorrow night. There's your fucking let's watch Cool Runnings.
Yeah, that's next quest to do. I don't know, literally.
We'll think of one after there that you can come up with. But the egg ones, it's actually funny because whenever we get someone from bobsleigh on the show, Cool Runnings is going to inevitably come up. Of course it is. But
yeah,
I don't think I've legitimately ever asked a bobsleigh athlete, do you kiss a lucky egg? So
yeah, but also pretty common is like if we are like trying to move in the sled to help like go into corners, that's like pretty normal. But like, yeah, about the egg, if I'm kissing the egg or if I'm practicing in my bath, that's also
looking at the photos, left, right. There's not a song that some people say, you don't believe Czech Republic has a bobsled team. Not quite there. We try to get that marketed here in Australia because it probably works a little bit better. But anyway, the last one for you, David, the deep, meaningful question. And this might be related to kind of what I asked before about the injuries and everything overcoming and what you're pushing towards next year. But what is one lesson that you have learnt from losing that you think has shaped you more than winning?
That's really deep.
Ooh. We like to close it out on this deep, thoughtful question.
Me on that. Can we repeat the question once more so I can?
I absolutely can do that for you. What's one lesson that you have learnt from losing that has shaped you more than winning?
Yeah. Well, definitely listen to my body because my body knows more than my brain what I need to.
Mm-hmm. Good answer. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I like this is why we like when I got these questions put together because we're going to standardize these questions. We used to random them. No, let's have everybody answer the same question. And when I put that at number 10, I'm thinking like, is that a bit too heavy to end on? Like, do we want to end it on something lighter? But no, this has worked out very well as kind of that closing. Because I think it's inspirational, Dave. You can think now and you're like, right, well, what is that thing? And it's going to push me towards the Olympics next year. So once you get that email, think back to this podcast and these questions. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, mate.
Anytime.
Thanks, man.
That's what we're here for, all right? We're here to help and push our guests to further success. David, before we let you go, Dave, we said before about the Instagram. People want to reach out to you about your feet, but other than that, if people want to follow your journey and see you between now and Milano Cortina and beyond, where can they follow you? Social media, plug everything you need to right now.
Well, definitely on my Instagram. That's, I guess, my only social site where I'm working or like posting something. To be fair, I wasn't really much active on it, but yeah, if you will follow me on my Instagram, Bures David 7072 would be nice. And yeah, I will start being a little bit more active because I had my final graduation, so I was studying, so I wasn't really into the Instagram things now. But yeah, I will start again.
And keep going there. I think you need to be competitive with Sarah because I opened her interview up last time by saying like her training videos are like inspirational.
I'm standing behind it. Okay, I want to.
You need to turn it on you. You need to be like, no, look at these. Like, look what I'm doing as well, right? Like, come on, you got to challenge her to it.
At least I want like 30% out of it.
How is she like? How is she when it comes to those videos? Is she no, do it again, do it this way, or is she like one take Sarah?
She's really going one take, and if she doesn't like it later, she won't use it, but she's pretty cool with it, and she's really, really good material to work with.
Good. All right.
I'm maybe worse sometimes that I'll look on it like, you can do it better.
Yeah, trust me, I'm that guy. I will make you do it 3 more times until I'm happy with it. I get you there. David,
you go.
No, I was just going to say thank you for joining us, but if you got more to tell, please, by all means, keep going.
I was just like last training, I was taking videos and I literally took like 150 photos of her, and she used 2. But it was me. I was like, not this one. Not this one. Yeah.
She needs to train that mentality, doesn't she? Because I would like to have just, those are rather than just having a look at all there. Exactly. David, it's been such a pleasure to learn about you and your career and Czechia and everything else in between hand. And we're crossing all those fingers, toes and everything for you between now and February next year that we're going to see you out there and representing Czechia and going for gold at the Olympics.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the invitation. It was an amazing experience for me to do like all 1 hour podcast with you in English.